Yo, what's up? I'm Sarana. This is episode 1 of How to Make Music. Today we're going to be talking about measures and phrasing. Yes, very cool. This is my second take doing this because OBS wasn't set up correctly and it recorded bad audio.
Made up of measures and 90% of the
and bad everything, and I hated it, and I'm kind of pissed that I have to do it again, but at least I get to do better this time. Okay, so the first thing I said in the video on Instagram is that your building blocks of a song are measures. We're going to use a Lego set analogy. Measures are your Lego bricks. Now, 9 times out of 10, measures will have 4 beats, and the quarter note will get the beat. This is called 4/4 time. The 4 on the top stands for how many beats are on the measure. The 4 on the bottom is for a quarter note. Now, there are songs that aren't in 4/4 time, and very occasionally those are EDM songs, but that's not very common for many reasons, chief of which being the fact that we just don't do it like that, really. I don't know why. Western music is kind of just like that. Now, there are some songs in a triplet feel, which could be classified as 12/8, but that's just fancy 4/4. It's 4/4 with extra steps. We'll talk about that eventually, maybe, but right now we're talking about 4/4 because 90% of EDM genres are built off of this, and you can't really change it a whole lot without fundamentally doing something very different with it. Right, so if you look at this, you can notice a very clear and defined section. This is why I used a whole song, because his sections are super duper obvious. This here is a phrase. It's 8 bars long, and a lot of different songs have 8-bar phrases or sometimes 4-bar phrases and very occasionally 16-bar phrases, but this is an 8-bar phrase. Basically, a phrase is an idea. It's a part of a song, and it's a section where something is happening, and a different phrase is a section where something different is happening. So if 2 parts sound different, they're 2 different phrases. That's very important. Then we have another phrase, and this is a very important phrase. It's actually an entire section. It's the buildup. It's 8 bars long. Now we'll talk more about how to identify a buildup and other stuff like that and what its uses in the next episode, where we talk about the different types of sections, which is like one step back from phrases. But for now, all you need to know is this is a buildup. It's 8 bars long. Then we go to the drop, and this is a total of 32 measures. Now, I want you to guess what the phrasing is like. Is it 4 bars? Is it 8 bars? Is it 16 bars? Now, based on the previous 2 phrases, you might be inclined to say, oh, it's 8 bars, but that's incorrect. It's actually 4 bars, and I'll tell you why. So this is the first part of the drop. It's 4 bars long. So that's the first part. Then after that, we hear this. And then we hear it 2 more times, right? So this section with the bum, 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 that's a phrase, and the bum, wah, 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 that's also a phrase. And because we don't have this for 8 bars and then this for 8 bars, and instead we have this for 4 bars and then this for what? I think that's like 4, 8, 12 bars. I can tell that during the drop, we have 4-bar phrasing. Now, if your phrasing changes during a certain section, it's a really good idea to adhere to multiples of the largest phrase. So in this song, the largest phrases are 8 bars long. And in this drop, we have 32 measures. 32 divided by 8 is 4. Generally, things should be in multiples of 2, 4, 8, 16, not 3, not 5. You can do that, but it just causes a few issues when it comes to DJing, and also it's just the norm. Then after that, we have an 8-bar breakdown, which is literally just whatever the fuck this is. I don't know. Toll is very, very obvious with his different sections, which is kind of why I use this song. Again, I mentioned that earlier. Then we have another 8-bar buildup, and then a 32-bar drop, followed by, what is that, 7 1/4 bar outro. So yeah, that is the whole song. That is a phrasing breakdown of the whole song. We have 8 bars, then we have 4 bars, we go back to 8 bars, and then we go back to 4 bars. Now, why do we need phrases? Well, it helps organize a song, and it helps really flesh out the different sections of a song which make up the song structure, which we'll talk about in the next episode. And let's go back to the Lego set analogy. When you build a Lego set and you're going through the instructions, you don't just add Lego bricks on top of this one thing. What Lego usually has you do is they have you build a frame or some kind of base, and then they have you build separate things here and there, and then you put them on the frame or the bass as you go along. And so phrases are like those individual little things that you're building. So let's say your Lego set is this ball, right? You're not just going to build the whole thing just like that. You're probably going to start by building the inner core and then building some of the outer faces and kind of slapping them on. You don't just build the whole thing willy-nilly. And when you organize it like this, it makes it super clear what direction the song is going in, so you can, have it build to some places and just have high energy parts and low energy parts. That's kind of the whole point of phrasing. A lot of songs made by beginners tend to be sort of nothing burgers because they don't really go anywhere. They don't build to anything. They don't really do anything. And that's not a fault of the artist. It's just that they probably don't know about phrasing in sections, and phrases make up sections, and phrasing really helps break up a song and organize it in a way that makes it easier to think about. And this is pretty much all you need to know about phrasing. It's pretty important. It's important for DJing. It's important for song structure in different sections, and it's also important for some stuff like call and response, which we'll get to probably a lot later. Please let me know if this was good, if this made sense, and if I was a good teacher. If you need anything clarified, just drop it down below in the comments, and I'll just probably respond to all of them. So yeah, peace out.